Hello, welcome back to Healing Overflow with Dr. Toy. I am so excited. Y'all have no idea how excited I am to have my next guest. I can't even call her a guest. She feels like family because that's exactly how I was treated when I visited her beautiful country and her beautiful city and got to meet her family, her extended family, all of the children that she helps to take care of, and all of the women that I got to meet. And so I affectionately call her Mama Victoria. And y'all will get to meet her because she is a mama of many in East Africa and in Uganda. And so I am not going to belabor the moment. Y'all know what to do. Put your hands together, your imaginary hands, as you watch for Victoria Nalong Namusisi. I probably messed it up, but I was practicing and trying. Welcome, Mama Victoria.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Please say your name correctly. I kept trying and I messed it up at the end.
Yeah, I'm so happy and I thank God for the opportunity to be hosted by you. Victoria Nalongo Namusisi. Nalongo means mother of twins. And then Namusisi is a name given to the girls in my country. If you were in your mother's womb by the time the earthquake passed, most women would have miscarriages when the earthquake passes through the country. But if you survive the miscarriage, then that means you are a strong baby. So you are named after the earthquake.
That is beautiful. Oh, I was hanging on all those words. Thank you. Thank you so much. You are such a powerful force in Uganda. I was blown away. I was just blown away by your presence. I was blown away by how much love and affection and care you give to everyone around you. It was mind-blowing. It was contagious. And I'm going to tell y'all, viewers and listeners, that it took me several weeks. I've been back for about 3-4 weeks now to even process just how much Mama Victoria does in Uganda. And so I got to hear her journey, her story, and even how she became who she is today. And I would love for you to share that with our viewers and our listeners. Like, tell us about your life journey. Like, how did you become who you are? What did you used to do? Just give us an idea.
Thank you. I was born in a poor family. My father was a fisherman and a farmer. We just had the basics, and I was born on January 19th, 1956. I'm a Capricorn. I'm now 66 years old. Going to school for us was a big challenge because my father had a big family. We only had shoes to put on Sunday. We only got new clothes 2 or 3 days before Christmas. Every year you expected to get only 2 dresses, which are new before Christmas. That's the type of life we lived in. But God bless my father, who is now rested. He worked so hard to give us education. He said that he was suffering to live a life of a fisherman because he had refused to go to school when he had the opportunity. So he realized that it was important for somebody to get an education. And he worked on the lake, whether it was raining or shining, to ensure he carried the fish, both smoked fish and fresh fish. He carried the produce from our mother's garden so that he can supply those at school, and they deduct our tuition and they give him only a minimal balance. Our education is what you would today call barter trade. He traded what he had in order for us to get education. And this was because he never went to school, so he didn't have a job. The best means of transport I saw my father having was a bicycle. But even a bicycle took him so many years to buy. But right now, we are proud of him that he was able to give us an education. And the holiday today has been a quiet day for me because today marked 26 years since my father went to be with the Lord.
Wow.
He passed on 26 years ago in 1996.
Hmm.
But he left me the best gift a parent can ever leave to a child, and that's education. And that's why wherever I go, I tell the people that I don't care who I am today. I'm proud to be called a fisherman's daughter. Because if it wasn't for that fisherman, I wouldn't be what I am. I wouldn't be able to help all the people I'm helping. I'm able to help because I know where I came from. And I know that there are so many intelligent people out there who don't have the opportunity to go to school. You just need to go out there and help.
I noticed that education was so important in your country, in your beautiful country. It's so beautiful to look at and to be in and feel the environment, y'all. It was like, I can't even describe what it was like just to see all the different trees and all the different fruits, and it's so plentiful. And you talk so much about education. You are well educated yourself, and what you're doing with the women that you work with, the asset burn victims and the microloans, you are really educating these women after such a tragedy. Can you talk a little bit about your work with the asset burn victims and the albino population?
Yes, I started my work with the acid survivors in 2014, and it was accidental. It was not on my program because in 2000 I had started a children's home, and that is all I cared about, rescuing as many kids as possible right from the streets of Kampala, right from where kids had lost both parents to HIV/AIDS, kids in northern Uganda because of the war. And then all of a sudden, one day, a friend of mine appears on my doorstep, and this is a journalist because professionally I'm a journalist. So this is a journalist friend of mine who knew that I had a children's home. Then he comes to me and says, "You know what, Victoria? Maybe you read the story I wrote about that woman who was forced to drink acid by her husband. The woman has passed away, but she has left behind 4 kids. And these kids have nobody or nowhere to be because their father is also in prison. So I want you to help me." And I said, "Gladys, how can you do this to me? Today is the 24th of December, and you are bringing me kids." That was 24th of December.
Wow.
I had already done shopping for all my bright kids. They had a present each under the Christmas tree. And now here we are on the 24th of December. I get these 4 kids.
Oh, we seem to have lost her. We are broadcasting from East Uganda, and so let's hang on and hope that we can get her back. What a powerful individual she is. Right now, she's talking about Bright Kids Uganda, and she'll talk about Noah's Ark as well. And this is really, the beginning of the journey where she began to take care of these children. And so I am hoping that we can get her back on pretty quickly. So I apologize about the technical difficulties. We are halfway around the world, and stuff like this will happen. So you are witnessing it in real time. And I'm hoping that she didn't lose her Wi-Fi altogether. So give us a moment and we'll be back. Okay, we're back. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Listen,
I just can't tell what happened, but I just saw a blackout.
yeah, we are halfway around the world, viewers and
Yeah.
listeners. So this might happen. Thank y'all for holding on. Victoria, you were talking about working with the burn victims and the albino survivors, but you also were talking about Bright Kids and how you began this journey with taking care of the children. And so please feel free to talk about Bright Kids Uganda and Noah's Ark as you tell the stories, with your burn victims and all of that. So feel free to continue. And listen, y'all, hang with us. If we get dropped again, we're coming back.
Thank you so much. So what happened after Christmas and New Year's Day? Some women acid survivors started visiting my house, and I was shocked. They were saying they knew that one of their friends died and that I had taken on the children of their friend. So they were just coming to visit. Some would bring in bread or something. They wanted to hug these kids, and they told me they didn't want these children to forget them because they were visiting their mother in the hospital. And that's where I met so many women and we shared their stories. So many of them started bonding with me. They told me they were staying home, unable to work because nobody could give them jobs. Some of them were highly educated, and I started doing work trying to find out how I could help them, like Hanifa. I eventually connected Hanifa to Dr. Picard, and she ended up getting that scholarship to come to Pittsburgh University. Those who are less educated, I started training them in business management in my house, basic business management, because I'm not an expert in business management. Then I got them small micro loans to start on small businesses. And the women who used to come covering their faces because they thought they looked horrible, they could now go to the hair salons and buy the weaves and cover the burnt places. And they started feeling confident. They started walking with their heads high. And this was all what I looked out for, because I kept on telling them that getting burnt is not the end of the world. You have to stay alive for your children. Your children need you. Even if I can help you with the tuition, I can never replace you as a mother to these kids. So I want you to continue living. I want you to survive. Be strong. So you saw some of these women coming to speak to you. They are running good businesses. They started from as little as $20, and now some of them are having loans which are as big as 500, others $1,000, and they are doing well. Some who had given me their children to look after because they couldn't manage to feed them have taken back their children because they feel empowered. And this is what I wanted. I don't want to colonize their children by taking them on in my home. I just wanted to be a temporary shelter. Meanwhile, I empower them to be able to look after their own children. What we need is empowering others, even if you haven't gone to school. So many people are born intelligent, more intelligent than even those who have the opportunity to go to school. What you need is to empower them. So after I empowered these women, they moved on. Now we only meet when they come for their loans, when we have extra training, or a week before Christmas, because I always host Christmas parties for these women. They come, women and men, they come, we sit around, we eat our food, we cut our cake, we dance, we put on music, because they can't go to dancing places. People are looking at them. But in my compound, they can dance as long as they want, and they can also feel good. And this is the whole reason why I love them, why I want to look after them. But before I started with the acid survivors, I had started the children's home called Bright Kids Uganda on April 7th, 2000. I started the children's home. We are now 22 years old. I have graduates, I have grandchildren, whose parents have passed through my hands as bright kids. I don't have offhand how many graduates I have now, but more than 10. As we speak now, we have 6 students at university. I already have 2 who finished their exams in April. They are just waiting to graduate. You know, God has been so good to us that He touched people who have helped me to pay tuition. There are quite a number of friends I made when I got sponsorship to go to the American University in Washington, D.C., where I studied peace building and conflict management. So some of those Americans have made it to Uganda, and after seeing my work, each one helps me to connect to one sponsor. So as we talk now, I think like I have more than half of my children have got education sponsorship. Then I struggle with the rest without education sponsorship. But normally what I do is every beginning of the term, every child must have the school requirements. Then when it comes to tuition, I go and talk to the heads of schools and I tell them, look here, these children are mine as well as yours. Please help me to be patient. Every end of the month or whenever, I will bring whatever I get. But I want you to help me to give these children an education. Because once they get educated, they will not come to rob you people. If they are not educated, they will be on the streets, they will be pickpocketers, they will be robbers breaking into people's houses. So we jointly have to work together to help these children. And that's how I have worked for the last 22 years.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Some schools.
I just want to summarize for the viewers and the listeners because you all, I had an opportunity to meet and to hear these burned survivors, I have to say. And these are acid burns where they were assaulted and they have different stories. And I shared with you all last week what those stories are. And so what Mama Victoria has been able to do is provide them and instill in them hope. They lost their hope. They lost their will to live. And through this nurturing, but also through the microloans, they found purpose in their presence. They found purpose in their life. And that is extraordinary. Through God's strength, this woman has been able to really help heal women from the inside, even though they have been, hurt and they've been abused by the acid. And then these children, y'all saw the pictures and y'all saw short videos of the bright kids dancing and singing. They are so happy. They are so well adjusted. And these are children where parents could not take care of them. And so you all saw the video and how beautiful these children are. But I'm going to stop talking and let Mama Victoria continue. Just wanted to fill you in.
Yes, thank you so much, my dear sister. Yeah, quite a number of times when you grow up in a rich family, there are so many things you don't come to experience. When you grow up in a poor family like I did, you get to experience a lot and learn a lot. And you get hardened because you fight through circumstances. When I was in my primary school, it was a battle. They give us homework. I don't have the textbooks. As other children are running back home to do their homework, I'm begging the one who has a textbook to give me just 10 minutes so that I copy the questions and then I can go back home and handle those questions. And mark you, when I reach home, you don't just have a cup of tea and do your homework. No, you have to go to the well, spring well, and fetch water. You have to do a lot of chores at home, and then you start doing your homework with the dim light. And then these days I hear people saying, you will lose your eyesight, and I still think about the past, how we are using those small candles to be able to do our homework. And at the end of the day, I go to class and I'm the best in my class, And then the girl, I remember one day when the girl who lent me her textbook wanted to beat me up and said, you have always been borrowing my book. How can you be fast? But that is God, God helps those who are struggling and God sees those who are in need. God has always been there for me. And that's why I want to give back. When I see people suffering, like one time I had gone to visit my acid survivors in eastern Uganda. Then I found these albino kids. They are going to school, but the flies are all over them. The sun is too much. Their skin is turning red. Then I talked to my acid survivor and said, how can we help these people? You know their parents. And she said, oh, yes. I asked her, can I come back to this place when the meeting is purely for these kids? She said, yes. Then I said, please connect me with one of them who is educated so that before I come, I know what to do. So when I talked to this lady who was educated and who was a leader of the albinos, she told me the kids find it hard to go to school if they don't have sunglasses. Because when it becomes hot, they can't move about. Mm-hmm. When they don't have hats. I raised some little money in the US through my friends. I got a local tailor who is one of my members, a woman who is one of my members, to make those round hats. Then I bought the sunglasses. It was a big function. If you had been there to see how excited those people were. And I didn't even spend $500. I think it was about $300, but it made a big difference.
Yeah.
All the children and some adults, all whoever turned up got a hat, and whoever turned up got sunglasses. And then I had bought, originally when I went to the US, I had bought sunscreen for them. So because they needed a sunscreen, especially when it is hot. You know, it's a little money that makes a difference. Mm-hmm. The only challenge we have in Africa, whereby we have failed to help our friends who are in need, is our not being transparent. Mm. You know, you get money from donors and you divert it. Instead of Victoria going to Uganda like I did that time and taking the hats and whatever, I say, these people are not educated. They don't know that I even raised money for them. Why don't I just enjoy this money? Why don't I buy a brand new vehicle instead of giving out these loans of $6,000 to all these women groups? I would get a new vehicle. But that new vehicle, you know, how do you drive it? Really, what does your conscience tell you? Right. Driving a new vehicle when there are people suffering who are supposed to benefit from that money. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it is difficult for me to recommend people to donors out there because you will be embarrassed. Somebody will get the money, and who benefits from the money? They are family members. Mm-hmm. I never make my family members benefit from this money because it's not our money. If my family members benefited from this money, that would be blood money. Right. Because there are people who need this money. Mm-hmm. There are people who need this money. In this country, there are so many people who are suffering. And when I go amongst these people and I tell them, oh, I'm a poor fisherman's daughter, they laugh. They can't believe it. But indeed, I'm a poor fisherman's daughter. And I keep telling them that even though I'm a poor fisherman's daughter, I get millions and millions all the time. But the difference between me and other people who get those millions is I allowed God to use me as a channel of blessings to the others. Mm-hmm. So when you give me money, I'm just being used as a channel of blessings to the others. It shouldn't get stuck with me. I have to continue being a channel. The money is channeled through me. You look at my accounts, you see a lot of money coming in, but it goes out as it comes in. Sometimes even beyond, even what I earn personally goes out to these people.
So let me explain to the viewers and listeners, because y'all, I am the biggest skeptic there is, and I do not adopt a kid and donate and any of that because I think everyone lies and steals. I had an opportunity to really meet these children and to meet these women and to meet these survivors. And so I heard their stories. I know that this money goes to them, or I would not have reached into my pocket to give a dime. I'm just like that, you know? And I know as Americans, we're often called on to donate and give our money to things, and we don't know where it goes. But I do want to tell y'all that I contacted Mama Victoria. She did not contact me, and she never asked me for a dime, and she never asked me to do this. I did this on my own because I saw how real it was, and I saw that there's no tricks. I saw that they really do need continuous money coming in to feed the children, to put clothes on their back, to help these microloans and to help these different people. I saw the pictures and I saw the real people. And so I'm telling you all that this is the truth. And if you feel it in your heart, you can help. You can donate at www.brightkidsuganda.org. I will absolutely donate and continue to donate because it's real. It's true. And I love that she allowed me to do this. She never asked. And I saw Mama Victoria is very educated. She had a very prestigious job as a journalist, and she laid all that down to help the people around her because they were hurting and she wanted to help heal. And that I said, I got to do something else. I got to help in any way I can. And that's why I really wanted her to come on and just talk about all that she does, and not for her pockets and not for fancy cars. Like she said, she lives very meagerly, and our money in America is like 3 times as much in Uganda, and so it goes such a long way. $100 could help send someone to school, and they can finish their education. So I'm going to give it back to Mama Victoria, but I just wanted y'all to know I'm probably the biggest skeptic there is, but I absolutely went to Uganda and I saw all of this, and it's just all real, and these folks need Mama Victoria so very much, but they need us too. So if you feel in your heart to help, please donate at the link in the website below.
Thank you. Yes, one of the things I emphasize a lot, and I did emphasize in 2008 when I first met with Dr. Picard from Pittsburgh University, was that if you want to be my friend and if you want to be helping to raise any support for me or want me to come to the university to encourage interns to come, I want to work with people who will find time, maybe once in 2 years, one of you comes to see the work down on the ground. I hate people depending on pictures. If you donate money as a group, at least get one person to come around, see what is happening. I know so many people who have depended on pictures, and the day they announced they are coming to Uganda to see the work on the ground, the host never turns up at the airport to pick them up. I have had to pick up a couple I didn't know because the airport people called me that there's somebody who was coming to visit an organization, but it seems the organization people are not picking and the phones are not on and so on. So I kept that couple here for a week, trying to trace the organization they had come for, and it never existed.
Wow.
And these things happen here in Africa. And they had sent in a lot of money, including money for buying land, money for this and that, and they were getting fake agreements. They came with all those so-called agreements, names and telephone numbers of people we tried to call over that period of 1 week who never existed. So if we are going to be in a partnership with anybody, I welcome you to come. And without COVID, I've been coming to the US once every year to talk to different people. Unless I'm invited, some years I've done it twice because there are organizations which have invited me. And like in 2019, again, I came twice when I got that honorary degree of Doctor of Human Relations from Carroll University. I came twice. Education in Uganda is not as expensive as it is in the US. You can't believe the most expensive child here that I have in Bright Kids Uganda is a one training to be a civil engineer. And his annual pay, he pays every semester $1,200. $1,200. And in a year, $2,400. That's the most expensive course I've had. Because other courses at the university as little as $550 per semester. When you look at a nursery school kid here, nursery school kids pay only $360 a year for the whole year.
Wow.
Primary section pays $450 for the whole year. Secondary school, $600 the whole year. I have students who are sponsoring kids here, and they can afford to pay in installments 3 times because our terms are 3 from primary up to high school.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody can send in money in January, sends in money in May, and sends in money in September.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also got some female friends who are Christians in the United States. They always want to sponsor the parties. The Christmas parties are organized for the aged, those who are left as widows and they have nobody to think about them. The acid survivors, we donate blankets to them. We have a cake. I pay for a meal to be cooked. And we make their day, and that's their Christmas. And each one goes back home with a bucket filled with rice, sugar, soap, and so on, so that they can also enjoy that with their families. So this is really, something which is doable. But we, the beneficiaries, are sometimes the ones who make it difficult for our would-be donors to make it doable. But I pray that, God touches some people to decide where they want to help. You can even say, I just want to buy more hats for the albinos. Since I gave them those in February 2019, I know they are already worn out. Mm-hmm. You can say, I just want to buy sunglasses, Victoria, but I cannot send the money, it is too little, but I will buy the sunglasses and keep them with the Tonya, and whenever you come to the US, you can take all those sunglasses back. I will be more than happy. Whatever you are able to do will be most welcome, and it will make a difference in the lives of the people that I work with.
That's a great idea. One thing that I really admired about the people in Uganda, in Africa, period, is that everyone works so hard. Once they learn a skill, they're working, they'll go to own their own business, their own restaurant, or craft making. I brought this for all to see because I bought this while I was there. And this is a necklace that was made, and it was beautiful. And the skills that they learned, the basket weaving, you all got to see a small video on my page about that. And that's a burn victim that was able to learn that skill and sustain herself and her family. She needs to buy the straw, and so she needs the money for that, or buy the materials, but it goes right back in to the craft and to the business to sustain their family. And I really admire that. And I admire you being able to give them an opportunity through the microloans. Tell the viewers when you will be in the United States. I hear that you're coming soon, and I really can't wait. Hopefully COVID will not get on your nerves and you'll be able to get here. But where can we see you in the United States?
Yeah, I'm expected to be there between September 15th and October 12th.
And you'll be
by
at the
God's grace, September 15th to October 12th. Yeah.
Okay. Are you coming to the University of Pittsburgh? Where will you be?
Yes, I will spend probably 3/4 of my time in Pittsburgh, although I have an invitation at Keene University. I will be going to Keene University briefly, maybe for 2-3 days, but most of the time I will be in Pittsburgh.
Well, you are more than welcome in Pittsburgh. That's my hometown. That's where I was born and raised, and you are more than welcome. Mm-hmm. I hope that you will bring some of the creation, some of the crafts, and we'll have an opportunity to buy them. They're beautiful. I bought so many things. I bought wooden statues and jewelry and baskets and purses, and it was just really lovely work. And my family got to enjoy a lot of those crafts. Mama Victoria, I so appreciate you being here and talking about all of the people that you work with. And I just want to leave any final words for you. If there's anything else that you wanted to say or share with us about your work and the people that you, it's not even work. It's like you've created this huge family and you love on these folks. Yes. Anything else you want to leave us with?
I think one very crucial thing, I talked about education as being important, but one thing I've seen really seriously lacking and very, very important in the lives of all the vulnerable people is being loved. These people need to be loved. Some of them, since they were burnt, some children, since their parents died, they have nobody to hug them. So it's a culture at Bright Kids Uganda. When COVID came, I said, oh my God, because when my acid survivor women come, they need hugs from mommy. So I have to be hugging them. You have to hug them. They need to be loved. Love is so crucial.
Yeah.
I always tell people who come to me that don't mind even if you don't have any money or you don't have any donation. Just show these people that you love them and you care. Mere showing them that you love them makes a big difference. Dr. Picard has been to northern Uganda twice during this time of summer, and all the 2 times I sent them without me. But those people, even though they were getting money allowances every day doing interviews and so on, they were saying, Mommy, why didn't you come? Mommy, why did I said, but I sent you people and they are making donations. And they say, no, we are missing you, Mommy. They want to be hugged, they want to be loved. Yes, they need the money, but sometimes the money, to hell with the money. I need that hug.
They need to
I
love.
need to be
Yeah.
shown that somebody loves me and somebody cares.
They were so loved when I was there, when I visited Bright Kids and Noah's Ark. I was hugged so many times by those babies. I was hugging them, and they were just showing so much love. And that goes to show that you and the family that works with them and your daughter that donates so much time and your son, this love on these kids. And I'm telling y'all, when Mama Victoria stepped foot on that island, they were cheering and chanting and dancing and singing, happy to see her. But they welcomed us so much in Noah's Ark and Bright Kids. Bright Kids is on this beautiful island, y'all. And they showed us so much love, and it's because they get so much love. Otherwise, these children wouldn't have a home. They wouldn't have anyone to love on them, even though some of their parents are around and they do desire to raise them. They can't financially, but they do not lack love at all. They're fed, they're clothed, they're clean, and they're beautiful children. So I had the honor of meeting them because of Mama Victoria. Thank you so much for welcoming me to your country. I plan to come back. I felt at home, and I can't wait till you get to my country so we can treat you even better than you treated us. How about that? Thank you so much. Thank you, Healing Overflow with Dr. Toy. Hey, this has been so rich and filled us so much with knowledge just from East Africa and how they're healing the orphan children and burn victims and albino population. There's so much more that we can talk about. And I sure do hope I can have Mama Victoria come on again and just keep on telling us what she's up to. Again, you can donate to these children. You can pray for these folks that, for this family, I should say, that Mama Victoria works with. www.brightkidsuganda.org. And don't forget to listen and watch on Healing Overflow with Dr. Toy. Like my Facebook page, like the WXCN Power Radio page. Keep following me and keep emailing me. And most importantly, keep healing, y'all, so that your healing overflows onto others. God bless y'all. We love you. Thank you, Mama Victoria.
Thank you too, and God bless you.